Okay, so since I have basically everything that I need laid out, I'm going to go back into my felt tip pen brush. I'm going to select this lighter green by hitting Option to bring up the color picker. I'm going to zoom in with spacebar, and I'm just going to go in and add just a few little highlights. This is, you don't have to do this, just adds a little bit of, uh, of detail and helps make it stand out from the rest of the green in the park. That's all you need. Zoom back out, drag in the spacebar, reposition. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my lasso tool by hitting L on the keyboard or grabbing it here at the top of the keyboard, at the top of your canvas. I'm going to grab my first tree and I'm going to hit Command C or Control C if you have a PC on your keyboard and hit Command V. And I'm just going to start placing these around my park. I'm going to zoom out just a little so I can see the whole thing. And you can just keep hitting Command V to paste. You can rotate them. And just start getting all of the major areas of your park. Or at least any place you want to place the trees. Remember, at the end, you're going to build one of these, so you can design your park however you like. You can also scale them. They don't all need to be exactly the same size. And if you want to pick anyone that you've already dropped, again, just use your lasso tool. You can even overlap these. I'm going to go back and select my bush. And I'm going to hit Command C again and Command V. And I'm going to start placing these bushes around the park as well. And I'll scale it down a bit. And since I scaled it, and I don't want to keep pasting the previous version, I'm going to go back and select this version, and then hit Command C and Command V again. You can always go back and readjust these positions however you like. You can also scale them or rotate to add a bit of variety to your park. And while you are over your selection, just hold X to deselect your lasso. I'm going to undo that just so I can sketch just a little bit. I'm going to grab my the rooftop here. And I'm going to Command C and Command V again. And I'm going to scale this a bit. Remember that if you do make a change, you want to reselect it. Command C, Command V. And I'm going to make this area my picnic area. Or at least my covered picnic area. I'll have another picnic area where I'll just have some open tables, and I'll use some of the gray shapes that I made to represent that as well. And speaking of which, I will select that now. And Command C and Command V again. I'm going to scale these a bit. Command C and Command V again. And now I'll select all of them. So I'll have some areas here by the pond and some away. And as I'm laying this out, I see I need to make a couple of adjustments to my park. I want to have a bit of a sandy area, and I want to add a parking lot. And I'm going to do that using mostly the shapes that I already have. I'm going to go back into our background layer. Here in our layers palette, just click on it. Again, if you lost your layers, just toggle it back on at the top of the canvas in this icon right here. I'm going to make sure my felt tip pen is on. Also going to go back to black here in the lagoon. I'm also at the top going to select my line drawing tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this area a bit. And I think I'll divide this area. And I'm going to fill these subdivisions with some different colors. And I'm going to go back into my HSB sliders, adjust my brightness, and I'm going to pick a decent color for some sand. I'm going to use my flood tool here on the left-hand side on my toolbar. And I'm going to click this area. And I'm going to make that my sandy playground area. I'm also going to go back into a deep, darker gray. And I decided I'm going to make this area my parking lot. Also, I think I'm going to hold down Option and color pick my sidewalk area. I'm going to go back to my pen tool, and I'm going to go back to my shape tool. And I'm going to draw an area underneath my covered picnic area. Use my flood tool to fill it, because I'm picturing my picnic area is paved over and has some concrete just under the bungalows, but it's surrounded by grass on all sides. And I'm going to also use my lasso tool again by hitting L, grabbing my smaller box. Remember, this is on your assets layer, so go back to your assets. Hit Command C and Command V. I'm going to place this here, but that color is a bit hard to see, so I'm going to use my color picker. Pick this orange that I used on my rooftop. Just make sure I'm on my flood tool, and then just flood that shape. Now I'm not going to actually draw any playground equipment. What I'll do is I'll use these generic shapes to just block in the area, and then I'll label them with copy in a little bit. Again, select your lasso, Command C, Command V, and just drag it over. And maybe one more. Lastly, I'll grab my gray square again, and copy it, paste it, and I'll just indicate that this area is going to be for my fitness area, where I might have some public park fitness equipment. And because I just want to fill in a couple of more areas, I'll go back in and select one of my trees. Command C and Command V. And I'll place a tree here in the play area. And now we pretty much have our park populated. I'm going to paint in a couple of textural details, like just some elevations in the level here with some shades of green. And then I'll lay in some copy, and then we should be good to go.